Hi, I'm here with this week's happiness strategy. I'll be following the same format as I have been doing lately, and I'll read aloud my weekly featured article. Every week, I feature an article on empowered living on my website, and I also share it out on Thrive Global. I share both the article, the video, as well as some other tips and strategies out every Thursday morning to my list called M's Weekly Inspiration. And if you're not already signed up to receive those notes, you can do so by following the link that I'll share below this video. I'll also share the link to the article itself in case you want to go back and have a read of the article later. So this week, our featured article is called, Is It Time to Get Out of Your Own Way? Do you ever feel like you're under a dark cloud that shadows your every move? Does it sometimes seem like you can't catch a break regardless of how hard you try? During our daily pursuit of life, many of us try much harder than we ought to. Sometimes all of our pushing and striving is what prevents us from enjoying our journey. It's common practice to believe that the harder we work, the greater our reward will be. But if we aren't enjoying our moment-to-moment journey, what good will any reward bring to us? This moment we're in right now is the one worth grabbing hold of. The dark cloud dissipates when we practice waking up to how we want to feel in our now moments. When we focus on how we want to feel now, it becomes easier to stop pushing against life. Tuning inward and caring about how we feel helps us stop striving ahead of life or lingering in previous versions of our life. If you're open to the idea that you're orchestrating your life experience through your interpretation of everything before you, then making life harder than necessary becomes an obvious thing to stop doing. If you've been living under the dark cloud for a while, it does take extra practice, patience, and humor to steer your life towards smoother seas. Getting out of our own way is easier to do when we become aware that we are blocking our own path. Knowing when it's time to move out of resistance is a game changer in life. Here are 3 helpful practices I use when I get caught up making life much harder than it needs to be. These practices help me remember why it's always a good idea to get out of my own way. Give them a try and see what shifts for you. Practice number 1, let pleasure in. Do you have one foot on the gas pedal and the other on the brake? If so, does it feel like you skip over opportunities to immerse yourself in the many pleasurable moments in your day? Getting out of our own way is really about opening ourselves up to fully experience and enjoy the pleasures of life. What brings you a sense of joy? If you're not sure, spend some time feeling your way through creating a detailed list. If you are sure, spend some time fine-tuning your list and looking at ways you can allow yourself to fully take in the pleasures of your day. Many of us are experts at doing and amateurs at being. That's okay. The best place to start getting more comfortable in our being is to surrender to play and fun. Let pleasure in. You'll thank yourself. Practice number 2, hit the reset button often. Each day is a new day with new opportunities and challenges. Some days it will be easier to get out of our own way and instead move with the natural flow of our life. Other days we might find ourselves under the dark cloud again. This human journey isn't about perfection. The more we lean into the imperfection and messiness of it all, the easier it is to be gentle with ourselves through the storms. Caring about how we feel means we understand the importance of being in tune with how we feel. This doesn't mean we're always going to choose the path of bliss. We will experience all kinds of human emotion on our adventure. The idea isn't to get caught up thinking we're always supposed to be giddy. The idea is to give yourself the gift of knowing everything is temporary and all emotions and storms will eventually pass. We can hit the reset button at any moment and create a bit of space to carve out a new path. Depending on where we find ourselves in the moment, we may create a reset by fully opening ourselves to laughter and joy. We may also need many more steps to access our laughter and joy. Sometimes our reset might look like hitting the pause button to slow down the intensity of emotion. There is no right or wrong way to do life. As artists of our own adventure, it's important to remind ourselves that we have an infinite number of ways and techniques to create our personal masterpiece. We get to hit the reset button as often as we wish. Practice number 3, anchor the day. Life passes quickly and it can feel like one day flows into the next. The momentum we create in our day can keep going the moment we start our next day. This momentum can be helpful or harmful depending on how we felt about our day. With regular practice, we can be more intentional in how we choose to interpret and move through our day. Having personalized daily rituals can help us stay out of our own way well before we ever get tempted to block our path. One of the most powerful practices I've incorporated over the years is to anchor my day with gratitude and intention. I start my morning with gratitude for a new day. I end the day with an intention to let go of the events from my day. This regular practice has helped me to get on my path of least resistance and not get in my own way as often as I used to. I still stumble and make questionable choices, but I do so knowing that they're mine to make. When we anchor our day with rituals, we begin approaching each day as a blank canvas and opportunity to start fresh. Morning rituals help us start the day grounded in how we want to feel. Evening rituals help us to release the events of the day. Letting go of our day creates a nice opening to notice what we are grateful for. Anchoring the day in a personally meaningful way helps us see ourselves as partners in this great dance of life. What about you? Are you being your best partner, or is it time to slow down and get out of your own way? So that is our article for this week, and it felt really timely for me. It's a new article. I just actually finished writing it today. And if anything resonated in this article, I just invite you to try it on and to see where you might have room to get out of your own way or to just start noticing yourself a little bit more throughout your day, to increase that self-awareness around what some of your regular patterns and stopping places are and how you might hold yourself back from experiencing the fullness of the joy and pleasures in your day. There are so many opportunities, no matter what we have going on before us, to take even just a few moments throughout our day at different times through the day to just feel grateful and to express that out to the other people around us and to take in the simple pleasures of our life, whether that's to get outside in nature and to just pause and notice the miracles around you, or if it's to just slow down while you are going about your day and just take in the different people around you. Those are some of the ways that we can get out of our own way to be in our day and to be with the people who are around us and to create that energy and momentum in our life. Because when we are in that good space of feeling good about life and feeling excited about what's before us and not overreacting to the different things that come up, we create that momentum and it begins to build, and we stay open to new opportunities and to having more of these experiences in our life. And I'm sure we all can relate to how we start our day out does tend to influence the rest of our day. Now, it's not to say that you can't create that reset at any point in time. Of course you can. But I certainly have found that when I start my day off, even just with a few moments of being grateful and just remembering that today is a new day and it's a good day and it's an opportunity to create whatever it is that I want to create and to react to my life and to the different things that will come up in an intentional way. And so when I do that, I find my day flows with a lot more ease. And it's not to say that different things aren't going to come up that where we get in our own way. But when the opposite is true, when we start the day off just, right into high gear, or carry on that story that we had from the night before about, this thing or that thing, and keeping that sort of not so great feeling story alive, it perpetuates, that momentum builds, and it is a real robber of our joy. And so I just invite you to consider, if any of what I'm saying is resonating, to think about some of the ways that you might create some rituals in your own life to kind of create those anchors for your day and to set yourself up to sort of have those tools and resources that you can draw on throughout your day as you do, get in some stuck places. I find the more that I practice this, the easier it is to not get in those stuck places for as long. So, I just invite you to, just consider how you might implement some of these strategies in your life if you have room for that, or how you might go about just noticing if you are getting in your own way, and if there's room to sort of question the stories that you have going on in your day, or when you get in those stuck places, to just notice if just kind of play with it. I like to do that just to sort of practice what it's like if I try on a completely different perspective that feels that almost feels wrong, like it's kind of counterintuitive, to just to try on a different perspective and see how that shapes my day differently, and how I begin to notice the people around me in a different, brighter way. And it just sort of sets the day off down a new path and kind of prevents that momentum of maybe not having the best day. It sort of just slows it down and creates a new opportunity to go down a new path. So I hope you enjoyed this article this week. Again, I will include the link below this video if you'd like to have a read through. And as always, I hope that you have an amazing week, and I look forward to connecting again soon. Thank you.